Learning about a man connected to the deadly shooting of Migos rapper Takeoff. Cameron Joshua, also known as Lil Cam, appeared in a Houston courtroom on Wednesday. He's charged with 2 counts of a felon with weapons charges. Prosecutors say Lil Cam was on the scene when Takeoff was killed. He has not been charged with killing the Lawrenceville native. Investigators say Takeoff, whose real name is Kirshnick Ball, was shot outside of a Houston bowling alley after a private party in October. Police say the shooting stemmed from an argument.
There's some type of skirmish. From what I've seen from the internet, and I'm familiar with all the Instagram sleuths, they remind me of the blind guy who tries to figure out an elephant and grabs its trunk and thinks it's a snake. The bottom line is they're wrong. Cameron Joshua did not shoot Takeoff.
Have you talked to him? What's his demeanor like?
You know, I've talked to him. He wants a bond. He wants to get out. He wants to clear his name.
Does Cameron Joshua know who shot Takeoff?
We will discuss that with the DA's office if we decide to. Right now, we're charged with offenses and we're not saying anything.
Reasonably so, we had that cliffhanger at the end. But there was more to it that absolutely points towards Lil Cam being possibly led to tell some information on who did it or who didn't do it. But let me show y'all this clip real quick and then we'll get into it. Let's roll.
DOWNY. I'm representing Cameron Joshua.
Can you tell us what happened in court today?
Sure. Cameron Joshua has been charged with 2 counts of carrying a weapon, and it has only tangential relationship to this shooting involving Takeoff. He's not being charged with the shooting. I think the DA's office knows the difference between carrying a weapon and a shooting case, and if they thought he was involved in the shooting, they would have charged him with it.
So is this where, like, I guess there's social media video, like what we've all seen, where he's in the video carrying a gun? Is that where you think all this stemmed from? Or?
That's my understanding. According to the affidavit that's been filed in the first carrying a weapon case, it's based on the shooting. Let me say, it's based on the circumstances surrounding the shooting, in that he's alleged to have had a gun there at the scene when the shooting happened.
And is that a witness saw him with a gun rather than him having used it?
Right, that's my understanding as well, that it's based on a witness's observation that he had a firearm.
And then the witness apparently said they saw him re-racking the weapon.
That's the rumor. I haven't seen anything to support that.
Hey, tell us what happened here legally, as far as you guys just reset the case because he was out on bond or probation on other cases?
Yes, so Mr. Joshua was on bond for an unrelated matter, possessing a fake ID, and the case was reset to determine conditions of bond, whether he'll be held at no bond because he's alleged to have committed an offense while on bond, or whether he'll be given a reasonable bond.
And what's his connection to Takeoff? Why was he at that event that evening?
Again, that's stuff we're all looking into, the relationship between all the parties. My understanding, it was some type of social event. I think some folks were playing dice. Beyond that, I have nothing.
Was he playing dice?
Again, we're looking into that to determine what his actions were that evening.
You've seen some of the reporting by some internet websites who basically sort of allege that he might have shot him or be involved in the murder. Can you dispel some of those rumors or some of the statements we've seen on the reliable World Wide Web?
Sure. I haven't seen anything to suggest that Cameron Joshua had anything to do with the shooting, that he discharged a firearm that caused his death or was even involved in it. My understanding is there was some type of skirmish. From what I've seen from the internet, and I'm familiar with all the Instagram sleuths, they remind me of the blind guy who tries to figure out an elephant and grabs its trunk and thinks it's a snake. The bottom line is they're wrong. Cameron Joshua did not shoot Takeoff.
Have you talked to him? What's his demeanor?
You know, I've talked to him. He wants a bond. He wants to get out. He wants to clear his name.
Does Cameron Joshua know who shot Takeoff?
We will discuss that with the DA's office if we decide to. Right now, we're charged with offenses and we're not saying anything.
What do you mean if you decide to?
Well, everybody has the opportunity to discuss those matters if they choose to.
Does the gun he was carrying match anything at the scene? Have the police told you anything about ballistics?
I'm not familiar with anything associated with the ballistics. That hasn't been made available to me.
When's the next court date?
We have a bond hearing next week.
Anything else?
Nothing further.
Can you say your last name again?
Downey, DOWNY.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you so much.
say words couldn't hurt me. Videos, just my name, they getting thirsty. Go ahead and put him in a hearse seat. It's getting murky, this time I deserve this. I'm ready for whatever war said he been a matador. Scared for the things I'm dreaming for. I'm eating caviar. Lil Kim is facing 20 years. He's facing 20 years behind rolling with the strap and keeping in the car and having on him as a felon. Do you not think for 10 seconds that they couldn't make a call to the DA, quid pro quo, favor for a favor, out there in Southern California? They could, and they will. See, what's going to happen is, while Lil Kim is sitting there in that cell and everything like that, he might even be pressured to lie on somebody else. Maybe he don't tell on nobody from Mob Ties. Maybe it was somebody from the Migos camp, because they absolutely, whomever, whatever, from whatever camp, put out the statement that it was Takeoff's people who put a hole in Takeoff. That's what we first heard. Then we heard about the dice game. Then we heard about everything else and arguments and blase, blah, 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 and everything like that. Remember the initial reporting of, oh man, it was Takeoff's people. It was somebody in the Migos camp and everything like that. So then the question then becomes, what deal you got? What deal you got? What D.L. Hughley say? Snitches get stitches, but they come home for Christmas. Well, it's the most wonderful time of the year. Yeah, Christmas on his way. Pardon me, I'm in the South right now. Christmas on his way, man. Christmas on his way. Man, Lil Kim might make it to Christmas. All they got to do is point. It was him. Nobody in the crew. Is the streets going to disown him for that, or is that loyalty? Would your section disown you for snitching on people that ain't a part of your crew any doggone ways? In certain instances in the penitentiaries in Cali, certain gangs allowed they homies to snitch on rivals. I'm not going to say who. If you know, you know. You can put it in the comments. Subscribe, turn on that bell to stay notified. Share to keep your people aware. So Lil Kim has the absolute opportunity to exonerate Mob Ties. Or, other way around, execute them. Everybody who says they know and everything like that, they are just strong in their theories and their opinions and everything like that. From what I'm hearing, that bowling alley doesn't even have cameras. So all they're trying to do is put together the pieces. Now, could you subpoena 40 people and compel them to tell? Yeah, but they all could absolutely invoke their Fifth Amendment. Then what do you have? And that's why the clock starts ticking at starts ticking around the clock, and you damn near got a cold lead after 48 hours because you typically have nothing. But this just look like, bruh, we not going to put that pressure on Lil Kim to say he's the killer. What we going to do is put that pressure on Lil Kim to say, you know who did it, and we got you in custody, and you facing down a barrel of 20 years. 10 to 20 years is what he's looking at. Oh, and a nice little $20,000 fine. But y'all let me know y'all thoughts on this. Maybe I got it right. Maybe I got it wrong. Do your thing, man. Hit that like, hit that subscribe. You'll see this video at 3,000 likes. Do that solid. Put that 3,000 likes. I had a conversation. I don't delete nothing. I'll let y'all have your comments and everything like that. It'll increase the chat, and y'all can get into it. Y'all can argue in the comments all y'all want to. I'll be reading it. I'll be popcorn. Popcorn, you know, chewing like an old man and all that. But, for real, do y'all think Lil Kim know the killer? And do you think Lil Kim should tell if he knows the killer? Or do y'all think Lil Kim possibly did it? And man, this is just too sweet of a deal, and he just gonna keep it real, and he gonna sit there in the cell and then get it in the field and put on for his hood and put on for his gang and everything like that, and they gonna keep him fed, and he just gonna take that L and everything like that, and they can disassociate themselves from him and then still feed him money on the under. Who knows? Maybe the police do. Maybe this is all a ploy, so that the actual killer can come out from hiding and poof, metal bracelets. But either way it go, Lil Kim is pretty much done. Y'all expect me to keep it real? Because you know that I will. I do this daily, baby. Check out the Nightly Nash podcast. Also, Street the Music, Ceddy Nash, if you have not. It's on all streaming platforms. Guaranteed you're going to find something you like. Probably like that overly thugging freestyle, or maybe something different. Let me know in the comments. We possibly shoot that music video.